Feel really deflated with that result, Real shame. Feels like it's 2 points dropped, and the more I think about the game, the more it becomes apparent that the victory was there for us. That victory belonged to Chelsea. It was so obviously going to be a Chelsea win, should have been a Chelsea win. We were dominant. 2 huge opportunities in the first 2 minutes. And that set the tone. We were completely on top. Manchester United didn't get the ball. They had the fewest amount of touches in the opposition third that they have had for 10 years. That is how uninspiring and unambitious they are. And the game finished a draw. So the question becomes, why did the game finish a draw? Why does a game that Chelsea is so dominant in, why does a game that Chelsea are so much better than the opposition, why do the spoils end up being shared? And the reason is because we were so profligate. We wasted chances. We didn't create enough. We didn't have enough clear-cut chances. Chelsea were on top for 82 minutes of the game and scored 1 goal. Manchester United had 6-7 minutes of the game, score 1 goal. So what's the difference? The difference is being ruthless, having a cutting edge. Before we come on to the elephant in the room that is Timo Werner, and I do believe that Timo Werner needs to leave the club. Brian, on the kickoff, obviously I've just got in from the kickoff. On the show today, the True Geordie asked a superficial and comical question. We were doing this all in jest, but often a lot of truth is said in jest. And the Geordie said, if your team had to get rid of one player, and they put out a Twitter poll, the club puts out a Twitter poll that they have to abide by, what player are you getting rid of? And we all sort of had a little joke about it. And in jest, prior to the glaring miss from Timo Werner today, this all happened prior to that miss, I said Werner. And now I think about the game again, and I just think it has to be Werner. Werner needs to leave the club in January. It's over. It was an experiment that we tried. We tried to make it work. We were optimistic, bringing him into the club, but it obviously hasn't worked. And do you know why it obviously hasn't worked? There is £100 million reason that proves that Timo Werner needs to leave the club. We signed him, Werner I'm talking about, for 50 million quid. He was the answer to a problem. He's only created another problem. He hasn't been a solution at all. People like to make excuses. People like to suggest that he creates more. They flag things that are not tangible. They create excuses for him. They will flag, people who like Werner and like to make excuses for him, they flag things that aren't quantifiable. They talk about the way he draws defenders, the way he wins set pieces, the way he does anything apart from score a goal. Create space for others, does he? Or do the other better players create their own space? He allows Mason Mount to be as good as he was last season, does he? Or is Mason Mount just brilliant? He opens up room for Kai Havertz, does he really? I just think it's over. And the fact that Chelsea signed him for 50 million quid, people want to believe that it works. They were desperate for it to work, but it doesn't work. And at some point we have to cut our losses on this guy. He is not good enough. He is proven to not be good enough to play in an attacking position for a team that want to win the league. He just isn't that guy. If you are playing at home against Manchester United, and people want to flag the frailties of Manchester United, and of course I agree, I concede that anyone who flags these things, I concede that they are correct. There are frailties in this Manchester United team, but they're still Man United, aren't they? So when you get a chance, like he got today, in front at a Matthew Harding end, time, space, room, the ball sat up perfectly. It couldn't have teed it up better. Do you know what it sat up like? You know when you spin it backwards and bounce it and then wallop it? That's how perfectly it sat up for him. It was as if he put the old backspin on it himself for a wallop. It's never going in. You know, if that chance drops to Kai Havertz, Mason Mount, Romelu Lukaku, you're all Ben Chilwell, by the way, Reece James, defenders, you're already celebrating. You're already up. I just knew that it was going to go sailing past the right-hand post. There was never an opportunity for that goal to go in. Look, I'm flagging Timo Werner's deficiencies because I just think it's over. I'm sure he's a nice guy. Everyone says he's a nice guy. And if that's relevant, cool. But he isn't good enough to play anywhere near this Chelsea team. He's nowhere near it. It's not like some players. You know, some players, they're out of form and you can make a case. Maybe they can get it right. Maybe they have enough to offer. Maybe the coaching needs to be tailored to them specifically. Maybe we need to be patient. We've been so patient with Timo Werner. And I don't get it. And this isn't about me saying I told you so. Because obviously I flagged this pretty much from day dot. This isn't about that. I just want this situation resolved. And in January, something needs to give. Because we are persevering with a footballer who isn't good enough. And Chelsea now, because of today's result, we're probably going to have to get a result either at Stamford Bridge against Liverpool or away at Main Road City. We're going to have to get a result of both of them, probably. A draw and a win, at least. Timo Werner can't... That chance that we're going to get at the Etihad, that one chance that we're going to get, can't fall to Werner because he'll miss it. We know that he will miss it. He is the most profligate striker that we have had. Even, look, I prefer Werner to Morata. I prefer him as a player. I prefer him as a bloke. But I've never seen anyone miss sitter after sitter after sitter like Timo Werner. And today, you're playing a club, colossal club like Man United. You have to be ruthless. You have to take your chances. And he didn't. Look, he wasn't the only one that got it wrong today. Hakim Ziyech had a mare, but he hasn't had half the chances of Werner. I think Thomas Tuchel got it wrong today. I think some of Tuchel's decisions were massive. I think taking Callum Hudson-Odoi off was wrong. I think waiting so long into the game to make any substitutions was wrong. I think leaving Hakim Ziyech on was the incorrect decision. But we know he's brilliant. We know he's brilliant. It's probably the first time I can remember Thomas Tuchel getting it wrong. This isn't about Ziyech. This isn't about Tuchel. But it is about Timo Werner. The time has come for everybody to admit and accept that he is done at Chelsea. It's over. His time at Chelsea is finished. He might score in the next game, you know, he might score a goal, but it doesn't eradicate what we know to be true. And what we know to be true is that this guy is not up to it. He is the most wasteful, profligate, and inconsistent striker that we have had for ages. And he's doing it in a team that are the champions of Europe. The standards need to be higher, and it's over. It is over for Timo Werner. I hope he gets a club in January. And I wish him well, man. As long as he's not playing against Chelsea, good luck to the geezer. But I don't ever want to see him leading the line for Chelsea again. Let me know what you think. I don't want this to be a sort of bashing thing, but that's how I feel on the situation. I felt like it would be nice to have a chat about it. As always, I am very interested to hear your thoughts. So please comment below, let me know. Do you agree with me or do you think I've been slightly harsh here? Let me know, I'll be looking out for your comments and keep it nice. And remember, if you've enjoyed this video, click subscribe. And for the rest of your life, make sure you do one thing. And that's go easy, step lightly, and stay free. Till next time.